Oh man, so you remember yesterday we said that ALGORAND and COTI were showing some real signs of strength, and today they formed a breakout which gives them both a really strong price target. Let's take a look at each of those, and the first one we have is COTI. Let's take a look at COTI. So you remember in yesterday's video we said that we had this buy box, and we've had this buy box for a long time. If any of you have been following my videos, we've created this buy box between 53 and 49, and I was saying that I'm happy to nibble on COTI here because I'm expecting a big move up. Now remember, for those of you who are new here, we got rejected at the 66 cent level mark after forming this cup and handle pattern, but this has got a lot more move in it yet. So let's come back to where we were, which was the hourly chart. And we got this breakdown from the 49 cent mark, but we showed the sign of strength, right? We bought the dip and we headed back into our box. And I mentioned that in yesterday's video that this was a real sign of strength. Since that video, we came up back to this level at about 52 and we got sent back down. Retested the 49 level again, guys. That's once, twice, three times. Broke the fourth, but showed real strength to come back in, and fifth time again here. So this is a really strong support level now at 49 cents. And like I've always said, this has created a really solid floor for COTI at 49 cents. And this is just a start, as far as I'm concerned, for where COTI can head. I mean, the fact that we were, if we go back on the daily chart, it's easy to forget that just in July, the end of July, right? So we've just had August and September and a bit of October. So you can see here, we were sitting at 9 cents on a COTI. So a lot of you guys are more than 5x already on your COTI had you bought during this cup and handle when it was forming. Now, let's head back over to the hourly chart. And you can see here that we formed this W pattern, right? So we formed a double bottom pattern here at the 49 level mark. And you could argue with a neckline at about 52. And you can see this will give you a conservative target just using this bottom here of 55 cents. Okay, now that ties in with this resistance we had drawn here at 55 cents. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to that price target and get a little bit of a consolidation here as well. But this is showing some real sign of strength in COTI, and that gives you a price target there of 55 cents. Now, longer term, we know that we want COTI to head back up and test this level, the 59 cent mark, to break through this previous high, okay, and then head higher to the 66 cent mark, which is where we got rejected last time. So that's your 66 cent mark here, where we got rejected a good few times, okay? So we need to build some strength. We need to hit this first price target of 55, and then head to 59 and then 66 again, guys. So it's really important we do that. You can see here on the 4 hourly candles, 4 straight 4 hourly candles of strength, okay? So this is a really strong bounce off this 49 mark. And like I said, this is you'll look back and say this was a really important buy zone when we're heading back up to 66 and breaking all-time highs heading to $1, right? The fact that you would have bought COTI at 50 cents is going to feel like a steal once we're back up there. Now, the other coin, which is doing a great move for us, is ALGORAND. And you remember, we mentioned it in the same video that they were both showing signs of strength. And for ALGORAND, that sign of strength was it was bouncing off this 164 level. I'm going to switch over to the hourly chart. And here you can see that bounce, okay? So we hovered around this 164 and we've got this bounce. And you guys will know, because you're watching my videos, these lines have been created long ago. I've not just created these in hindsight. If you're watching my videos, you will know these are lines, resistance lines and support lines, which have been drawn based on historical data, which we've been analyzing together. I mean, look, all my drawings are still on here, right? So you can see all of that. So we've got a good bounce off of here, and you can almost create a rounded bottom slash head and shoulders pattern here. And again, with technical analysis, a lot of people like to be fully textbook. This is not a textbook science. It's a bit of an art as well, okay? So when you see this kind of a pattern, it's not an exact rounded pattern. It's not an exact head and shoulders, but you can argue it's a head and shoulders pattern because it's still about the psychology between bears and bulls, right? The bears tried to push the price down. The bulls brought it back up to the neckline. The bears pushed it all the way back down to 164. The bulls said, nope, we're going back up. They had a little fight in between here. The bulls win, the bears try again, the bulls push it back up to the neckline, right? That's how these patterns work. And if I take the upper price target for this using the measured move from here, this will give you a price target on ALGORAND of $2.05. And again, guys, we know this has confluence because we know this is the $2.05 mark was the top of our wedge here, which is the first price target we hit when we came out here, okay? When we broke out of this wedge here and we hit the $2 and 5 5-ish area here. So it's interesting that this price target comes here. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit this sort of a price target. Now, the extra bullish sign would be if you head to $2.13. Now, let's zoom out and remind ourselves of the longer term patterns at play here with ALGORAND. You've seen ALGORAND's had a massive move. It channeled sideways. It broke down into this wedge, broke up out of the wedge, met the price target, came back into another wedge and broke down. Again, because of the wider macro economy, so to speak, in the crypto marketplace, people were moving across into Bitcoin and altcoins weren't moving. Now, the state of the market has seemed to change a little bit today. You've got Bitcoin down slightly, but you can see altcoins are starting to move, right? You can see Luna's up 6.7%. We've got Link up 5%. We've got Polkadot up, which I'll share with you in another video. And you're starting to see a little bit of movement, right? You've got COTI up now 3%. You had ALGORAND up 8% yesterday, a really strong pump on ALGORAND, and now these coins can move from strength to strength. So again, with ALGORAND, we've created a really nice bottom here, I'd say at 156, and the fact that it defended that 164 level so nicely should give you guys a lot of confidence in this pump here. And I know, like, for people who are just very short-term focused, this is not a big deal, right? Because they want to buy it and they want it to pump to $10. We're not making videos for those people, okay? We're making videos for the people who are in this for the long term. And when you get a pump like this, the best thing you can have afterwards is a sideways consolidation where we don't lose the gains we've just made, right? Because you could argue that ALGORAND had a risk of falling all the way down to 90 cents, right? 95 cents, 90 cents here, because this pump happened so parabolic, so vertical. I mean, you can't get more vertical than that could have easily came back down as well. So the fact that we're creating a bit of consolidation, this is bullish right now, okay? And this is really important to grow in a sustainable way. And we want our coins to grow in a sustainable way, right? So there you have it, guys. That is an update on those two coins. Let's take a quick look at Phantom as well. We've got Phantom climbing. Now, let's take a look at this 4-hour wedge, right? So let's remind ourselves of where we're coming from, actually. So with Phantom, we created this rounded bottom. We broke out. We met our first price target. We came back down, entered a wedge, and we broke out of that wedge with massive volume. A Phantom got a lot of attention in this period, which really helped that. I mean, just look at the volume candles coming in. Oh, I don't think you can see my volume candles. Let's see if I can get those for you. There you go. You can see my RSI volume now. So look at those volume candles coming in and really breaking us through this wedge here. So we broke out and then we entered a downward wedge. I'm going to head over to the hourly so we can see that a little bit more clearly. And you can see this was the downward wedge that we entered. Now we broke out of that and we headed towards our price target at the top of the wedge, didn't quite meet it and got rejected by the $2.37 mark. And now we've been channeling sideways, kind of keeping strength. We've not touched the $1.94 level yet, so we've stayed above it. And now we've got two strong hourly candles here. So signs potentially that, the RSI cooled down. We were at breakneck speed here for Phantom, and this was a sensible move for it to cool down and hopefully now set itself up for another move and another retest of $2.37 for Phantom. So the market overall is looking good. We know from the macro economy that, inflation is persistently high, so that's good attention for the crypto space. More money will be flowing into the crypto space, and my view all along, I'm still invested in my favorite altcoins. So ALGORAND, COTI, Solana, Phantom, I'm still playing with those guys, and we're still invested in those. So good moves on COTI and ALGORAND. And definitely you've seen the price targets that we've shared. If they can achieve those price targets, we'd be well on our way to testing those all-time highs. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my technical analysis with a blend of fundamental, then please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.